I found out I wasn't invited to Christmas the same way I found out my marriage was over, by accident. It was a Wednesday in early December. My phone buzzed with a text from my sister-in-law, meant for someone else. We'll do dinner at Mom's on the 24th. Make sure to bring dessert. Just don't tell him. Him. That was me. For a moment I stared at the message, thinking maybe it was some cruel joke, or maybe she'd sent it by mistake. But then the truth started to settle. Slowly, like ice water leaking through cracks in my chest. They were having Christmas together. Without me. For 10 years I'd been the guy who hung the lights, who dressed up as Santa for the kids, who drove 2 hours in the snow to bring gifts and food. My wife Emily used to say, "You're the heart of this family." I believed her. But hearts don't matter much when people decide they're done pretending to care. It started last year. Emily had grown distant, quieter at dinner, quicker to anger. "You're too sensitive," she'd say whenever I asked what was wrong. Then one night she didn't come home until past midnight. She claimed she was helping a friend with holiday shopping. I didn't believe her, but I wanted to. Because believing her meant I still had something to hold on to. I didn't realize she'd already let go. By February she'd moved out. "I need to find myself," she said. A few months later I found out who she'd found instead: Jason, her coworker. He was in the family group photos by summer. And now, he was probably carving the Christmas ham I used to make. That night I sat on the couch with a beer, scrolling through old photos. Me and Emily laughing in front of the tree. My nephew tearing into presents, her mother hugging me like I was her own son. I had been family. Now I was a ghost. At some point I stopped feeling sad and started feeling something colder. Not hatred. Not exactly. Just clarity. I'd spent so long waiting for people to include me that I forgot I didn't need their permission to belong. So I decided to make my own Christmas. I started small. I texted a few friends, other people who, like me, didn't have anywhere to go. "Hey," I wrote. "Doing something low-key on the 25th. Food, drinks, music. Come by if you want." By the end of the night, 10 people had said yes. A few added, "Thank you, man. Didn't have plans this year." That's when it hit me, there were more of us out there. The forgotten ones. The ones who'd been excluded, left behind, or just invisible. So I went all in. I bought a small pine tree from the hardware store and spent hours decorating it with mismatched ornaments I found in a box Emily left behind. Each one held a memory, but instead of hurting they felt like proof that I had lived, that I had loved sincerely. Then I cooked. Real food. Roasted chicken, garlic mashed potatoes, homemade bread. I even baked cookies from scratch just to see if I still could. The night before Christmas I sat in my kitchen, lights twinkling around me, and smiled for the first time in months. On Christmas Day, people actually showed up. Not out of pity but because they wanted to be there. There was Sarah, my neighbor, who'd been through a divorce and spent last Christmas alone with her cat. Tom from work, who'd lost his father last year. Even my old college friend Daniel, who drove an hour just to see what a rebellion Christmas looks like. We laughed. We ate. We played music. Someone brought a guitar and before I knew it, we were all singing terribly loudly, joyfully. At one point I stepped outside for air. Snow was falling soft and slow. Through my window I could see them all inside, glowing under the warm light. That's when I saw a car stop across the street. Emily's. She got out, wearing the same red coat I bought her 2 winters ago. For a second I thought I was imagining her. But then she saw me and froze. "I didn't think you'd be home," she said softly. "I live here," I replied, trying not to sound bitter. She looked past me, at the laughter and lights spilling from my living room. "You have people over?" "Yeah. My Christmas." Her lips trembled slightly, like she wanted to say something but couldn't. "Mom wanted to invite you," she finally said. "But Jason thought it would be awkward." I nodded slowly. "Guess I solved that problem for you." She flinched. "You seem happy." "I am," I said. And for once it was true. She looked at me a moment longer, then whispered, "I didn't realize how much you meant to everyone until you left." I wanted to tell her I hadn't left. They had pushed me out. But instead I just said, "Merry Christmas, Emily." She turned, got in her car and drove away. I didn't watch her go. I went back inside where warmth waited. By midnight the food was gone, the music had faded, and everyone was sitting in a cozy silence. Someone raised a glass and said, to making our own family. And just like that, I felt something crack open inside me. Not pain this time. Something like peace. That night, when everyone left, I sat by the tree and thought about all the years I spent chasing acceptance from people who only loved the version of me that made them comfortable. Now, I wasn't trying to be included anymore. I was building something new, something honest. The next morning, my phone buzzed with messages. Best Christmas ever. Thanks for reminding me what it's about. Can we do this again next year? I smiled, sipped my coffee, and looked at the empty plates scattered across the table. It was messy, imperfect, real. For the first time in years, I didn't feel excluded. I felt chosen.